And we continue learning Mesilas Yesharim Yomi, concluding another incredible week with this fabulous Hachzik program. And believe it or not, the end game is in the horizon. About 5 more weeks, B'siyata D'Shemaya, to concluding the entire Sefer Mesilas Yesharim. Absolutely mind-boggling. So we pick it up at page 423, and we're in the middle of discussing the Mishkal HaChasidus, how we have to be careful not just to dive in to do something because on a peripheral glance it seems like it's a mitzvah, but rather we have to weigh all the different intricacies. And the example that we left off with yesterday is when you do a mitzvah, sometimes you dive in too fast. Everyone wants to do the same mitzvah, and what does it cause? A fight. It causes Rahman al-Islan, a Chilul Hashem. So continues the Ramchal on bottom of page 423 in the Artscroll Mesilas Yesharim. Hine chayav adam lishmar kol mitzvah b'chol dikdukeim livni mi shehiyeh. A person has to do a mitzvah, observe a mitzvah with all the dikdukeim, all the specifications, regardless of where he is. Regardless of whose presence he is in. You're doing a mitzvah, you're not afraid, you're not embarrassed, someone's going to ridicule you, you do the right thing. Says David HaMelech, and tell him, I'll speak of your eidos, of your testimony before malachim, even before kings, and I won't be ashamed. And similarly, the Mishnah in Perek Avos teaches us, be bold as a leopard. And who remembers Dirsha Mishnah Berurah? We learned this back in Siman Aleph of the Mishnah Berurah and the Shvisi Hashem, that when you're doing something right, you never have to worry about the la'igim, those who scoff and scorn. However, incredible line. Even here, even within doing something and not being embarrassed and not being worried what someone's going to say, you need to be machalik and mavchin. You need to discern and discriminate. Ki kol ze ne'amar. When do we say do the mitzvah and don't be worried? Al gufei ha-mitzvah shechayovim anachnu chayva gemura. Only something which is an absolute, not debatable obligation. Regarding that, you make your face as hard as a flint. You ignore the ridicule. You have to say Shema. You have to put on tefillin. You do it. You go to the corner. You put in your tefillin. Someone's going to make fun of you in the airport. You do yours. However, sometimes there are additional little cherries on top, things which are not absolute obligations. They're the right thing to do in general, but it's not a clear obligation. And if you do this thing, you do this extra little bit, they're going to laugh at you, they're going to ridicule you. And you know what comes out? Because it's not an absolute obligation, you cause people to sin and make people punished because of him. Meaning, by you doing this little extra thing, they're laughing at you. So they're going to get punished because they're laughing at a mitzvah. But you should have been cognizant of that fact, that you're going beyond the letter of the law. And you should have realized that by doing this little extra little bit, they're going to laugh and scorn, and you're causing them to get punished. And he didn't have to do it. Because it's not an absolute obligation. Something like this. What is more appropriate to? It's better to not do it, to save everyone else, rather than do your chasidus, make them mock and ridicule you, and thereby incur the wrath and punishment. And this is what the pasuk in Micha teaches us. You have to walk modestly with a Kadosh Baruch Hu. We don't go beyond by showing extra little chasidus. No, absolute obligations, yes. But the extra stuff we have to do bitznios. And how many incredible chasidim did not do their acts of chasidus when they were amongst the masses, misham, the mechsek yuara, because it looks like a gaiva, looks pretentious, and it causes people to question and ridicule. Klaloi shel davar, and with this we conclude. What is the klal? Kol mashu ikrei mitzvah. So that is the main, the ikrar of the mitzvah. It's integral. Ya'aseu lifnei kol amalik. Do it. They're going to laugh and they're going to scorn. you got to do yours. Umasheino ikari, but that which is not integral, and to cause laughter, derision, and cynicism, lo ya'aseu, the Mishkal HaChassidus says not to do it in order to save them. From here we'll stop and pick it up next week with another incredible week of Mesilas Yesharim.